I'm 27 years old, and I live in a quiet part of the suburbs, so I always feel comfortable going for walks at night. There's something about the cool night air that really clears my head. One night, I had just gotten home from work and ran upstairs to change my clothes into something more suitable for walking. After I did that, I went back down to my living room, noticing that the door to my basement was cracked open slightly. That was strange, considering I hadn't gone down to the basement in weeks, and I don't remember opening the door at any point recently. I opened the door and slowly crept down the stairs until I could see around the room. There were lots of boxes and old Christmas decorations, but nothing other than that. As I turned to walk back up the stairs, I noticed what looked to be a large black boot sticking out from behind one of the stacks of boxes. I immediately ran back up the stairs and grabbed my phone, dialing 911. As I was on the phone with the dispatcher, I heard footsteps coming from up the basement. Just then, a man flung open the door at the top of the steps and ran right by me and out the front door. The police showed up later and had a look around. Before they left, they advised changing the locks and possibly even getting a security system. I've done both of those things, and am now a lot more careful about keeping my house safe from intruders. My mom and I had just finished cooking dinner when we decided to take a break. It was getting late, and my dad would be home from work any minute. I washed my hands and then headed for the family room, ready to watch some TV. As I was watching TV, the phone rang and my mom picked it up. After she hung up, she told me that my dad needed a ride home from work because his car wouldn't start for some reason. I was only 12 years old, but I begged my mom to let me stay at home while she left to get my dad because I had never been allowed to be home alone before and thought it would be really cool. My mom didn't seem so sure that it was a good idea, but eventually she said yes. Before she left, she told me to lock all of the doors and to call if I needed anything. I told her I would be fine and that there was no need to worry about anything. I went back to laying on the couch and flipping through channels on the TV. Between each channel, the screen would go black for just a second. It was during one of these moments that the screen was black that I noticed a weird shape in the reflection. It looked like a man was standing behind the couch. I sat upright, a spike of adrenaline going through my body. I turned around, but there was nothing there. I decided that I was just nervous about being home alone for the first time, and my eyes must have been playing tricks on me. I went back to watching TV, still turning and looking behind myself every few minutes. It was probably 30 minutes later that I could hear my mom's car pull into the driveway. I got up to go open the door, and when I did, I saw my dad sprinting across our yard towards the garage. My mom yelled at me to get back inside, and I did. I could hear my dad outside yelling at someone to get the hell out of here. About a minute later, my mom and dad came inside the house. They told me that as they were pulling into the driveway, they saw a man walking out of our garage door that was left open. Apparently, my mom had forgot to shut it, and he had walked right in. I don't know what that man's intentions were, but it still chills me to this day to think that that figure I saw in the TV's reflection was not in my imagination. I work at a large company that sometimes requires employees to stay late into the night. It was a Wednesday night, and I had just finished an 11-hour shift at work, so I was pretty tired as I walked into my house. I grabbed some leftovers out of the fridge and sat down in the living room with my laptop, ready to watch some YouTube videos while I ate. I had been watching something when I noticed what looked like a shadow moving past my window. I figured it was probably just a deer or something going by. I live out away from the city, so it wasn't unusual to see a deer or two walk by sometimes. After the video that I was watching ended, I got up to grab something from my bedroom. As I was walking down the hallway, I heard something coming from the spare bedroom. I opened the door and saw a man climbing through the window. He was halfway inside when I yelled and ran over there. He looked up in a state of shock when I lifted my leg and kicked him square in the chest. He fell backwards through the open door and landed on the ground below. I ran over to the window and stuck my head out. The man was already on his feet and running towards the nearby woods. I called the cops, but there wasn't much they could do. After that night, I've put new locks on all my windows and am always cautious when I come home at night.